For those of us who run a family business, we know the challenges involved. The need to balance the unconditional love and support as a family member with the operational and profit requirements of a business. That can be challenging enough, but what about the succession of the business from one generation to the next? Here to speak on that is Henry Hutchison, president of Family Business USA. Henry, welcome to Talk Business 360.
Thanks.
Now, Henry, when it comes down to transferring leadership of a family business from one generation to the next, what's the reality?
Well, the reality is that it's really difficult. Historically, an amazing two-thirds of all family businesses fail to pass from one generation to the next, and that's a horrible statistic. There can be issues with the next generation. Maybe they're not properly trained. Maybe they're simply not the right fit. Maybe the current generation is having trouble seeing this. Other issues could be with the outgoing generation. A lot of current owners of family businesses simply have trouble letting go and transitioning the business across. Of course, there's always money issues. Who gets paid what and how much ownership should somebody get and when and so on and so forth. But probably the most fundamental issue is with conflict in communication between the generations. Families have trouble communicating sometimes as it is. You throw in a business environment and it can be really tough. I would say that's the Achilles heel of the issues with family businesses. So maybe the business can get passed, but the damage to the family can be overwhelming.
So with that in mind, what can be done to help these odds?
Well, actually, quite a bit. I would say there's two fundamental steps that folks need to lodge in their brain. Number one is that they need to realize that it is difficult, that it's not going to happen naturally, and therefore they're going to have to put forth a little bit of effort to make it happen. Now, that doesn't guarantee success, but that's kind of step one. Step two is to start early. There's a very strong correlation statistically to starting early and, achieving a successful transition. Unfortunately, we see a lot of family businesses, kind of come up to the cliff and say, okay, now it's time to start thinking about this, and it becomes very difficult to do. There's a lot of conflict issues. So starting early is critical.
Now, how is your firm, Family Business USA, better positioned to help families facing this situation?
Family Business USA is pretty uniquely qualified to help family businesses that are trying to get across this transition chasm. We come from our own family businesses, so we've seen and experienced some of the issues that come along with being in a family business. Number two is that we have backgrounds in psychology and business. So we understand the family dynamics, but we also understand the dynamics of business very well. When you put the two together, having both of these skill sets are critical. But probably most importantly is that we've had some success. We've helped many family businesses across the country successfully get across this family business succession issue. And so we have a lot of experience in doing this.
Henry, we really appreciate you sharing your thoughts with us today. Thanks for joining us.
My pleasure.
That was Henry Hutchison. Learn more about Family Business USA by visiting familybusinessusa.com.